a simple answer to that. No doctor, no person, no one can tell you, oh, you'll be healed in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And you don't know what to expect. This year was the most challenging, the most difficult. I got these terrible injuries, the house, the fires, so many things that are trying to knock me off my feet. It's either going to make you or break you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on. Real quick on the next one because it's a little controversial and it goes into the drugs thing, which I don't really want to get into. But what's with the spongy physiques?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob's.
One word.
Do you attribute that to pure insulin and peptides? Is that what you? Okay, all right. That's all. We're just going to leave it at that. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to go into it because then you get all these jackasses coming in about drugs.
There's two things that when you say insulin, food volume has to follow it. Okay, and I said this years ago on the internet, years ago, and everybody laughed at me. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's the food. Listen, these guys have no idea. You don't just take insulin, okay, without taking massive amounts of food. You know why these guts stick out? It's not the organs and all. Everybody thinks they got these wacky, weird. The organs grow and like they. Besides the grapefruits.
So here, and this is something that I said, and I'll finish it with just by saying this. I remember, and I was in my room at the Olympia, and I was loading with the insulin, and we didn't have Vitargo, we didn't have Carbolin, we didn't have any of that. We had food.
Right.
So here was my meal. I hit 15 units of R, and then I had to eat. And I'm not kidding when I say this, and I'll bring Chad Nichols here, and he'll verify this. Yeah. 2 bananas, a can of pie filling, a bowl of oatmeal, 2 potatoes, a steak, and 10 dates. And I'm sitting here to the point where, and you can't have water because you're restricting your water. So you're literally trying to gag the food down your throat. And Chad would walk into your room, and the first thing he would say, "Yeah, so did you eat all your food?" "Yeah, man, I ate all my food. I promise I." So then I was at a point where I was crying until I went to Ronnie's room just to check on him. And I saw half the food in the trash can. Did you throw your food again? Man, I ain't eating all that food. Are you crazy?
I ain't eating that.
So it was the food, folks. It was the goddamn food. That's the.
You know what it is, King? It's an in competition physique with an off season stomach.
Correct.
It's volume. It's food volume. People think it's it is the insulin in effect, but it's the insulin with the food response. You can't eat that volume of food and keep your stomach in.
It's not possible.
It keeps your stomach stretched out. Just like we've all eaten stupid at Thanksgiving and your stomach's out to here and, off-season bodybuilding. That's what it is. That is the biggest thing that's responsible for some of the crap physiques that you're seeing. Now, do these guys need it? Here's the other difference, okay? Not to get into the whole drug thing, but insulin back in the day, okay, when it was discovered, like, oh, this could be a valuable tool, was used when you were carving up.
Correct.
That's it. You didn't use it in the off season. You didn't use it all year. You didn't use it to gain muscle, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And I love the guy to death, and he's a good friend of mine. Milos came, and Milos pretty much changed the train of thought on that. And he used science to. I mean, I'm telling you, you sit down 10 minutes with Milos, and you're like, nope, I've been doing everything wrong. Milos, you're a god. You know what you're talking about. But it does affect physiques, it does affect the looks, and yes, it all comes down to the volume of food, and we're going to leave it at that. Okay, now we're going to get into something that has directly something to do with you, and I love you for this, by the way. I'm going to personally thank you right now for this. The points system. Please talk about the point system and tell me why I'm so happy right now.
Okay, so some years ago, 3 years ago, I think now, but I could be wrong, but at least 3. Okay, we needed a change. I submitted my recommendation for qualifications for the Olympia. Very simple system based on winning shows. I thought that was fair, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Another system was submitted for this point system. So long story short, we ended up going with this point system against my wishes. Okay, listen, I didn't make a big deal. Let's go with it. And let's work with this. So we've been using that for the last 3 years. Some of my reservations, and the reason I did not support it was, as a former professional bodybuilder who has lived this deal, I could see what was coming. And that is that it's going to force athletes to compete too much throughout the year. It's going to force them to spend money that they ain't got to spend.
Yes.
And the bottom line is you're going to end up with worse physiques at the biggest show of the year.
Yes.
So we've seen all this happen, especially like with the chicks, bikini, some of these other divisions, men's physique. You don't know how many points you need to get it into the top. It's just the top 20 or whatever it is. So that could be anything. So
Correct.
There's no magical number. Hey, if you get 30 points, you automatically qualify. It doesn't work like that. So the superstars are forced to go out over and over and over to ensure that they have enough points. On a side note on that, bro, and we can get into this right after this, I do believe, if my math is correct, that Cedric McMillan has been bumped out of the Olympia point standings because he didn't compete in Tampa to secure that.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll get into that after, but
wow.
Tactical error, man. This is huge. But
Breaking news: MSNBC, CNN. Are you guys listening out there? Bob just broke some news out here. Go ahead. Cedric looks like Cedric is out.
I didn't like this thing right off the bat.
Wow.
And exactly what I told him was going to happen happened, of course, as I put my Bob Stradamus hat on and I could see into the future.
Bob Stradamus. Excuse me. Let me say that one more time. Yeah. Bob Stradamus. You better go Google it because Nostradamus, Bob. Okay.
There it is. Okay. So the bottom line is this, all right, you got superstars that are out there competing, taking shows away basically from some of the young up-and-comers, which I didn't like. You've got people that have been forced to compete 12, 13, 15 shows, all right, to qualify. If they can put any kind of physique on the Olympia stage at the end of the year, I'd be shocked. But that's not what this is designed for. We want the best of the best.
Correct.
We want people to be the best of their best. That's what we're trying to do with this Olympia, right?
Right.
So I finally got the gym. I've been proposing this for 2 years because after the first year I didn't like the points thing. But
let me do the drum roll.
It took a couple of years, but we finally got it accepted. I sat down with Jim, Tyler, the rest of the powers that be, Big Steve, Sandy, Tamer, and I proposed this again. And I says, look, I think we're going in the wrong direction. I think we need to qualify more people for the Olympia. Okay, give people a chance to get there. Dangle that carrot. It's like any other sport. PGA. Tennis, we just saw Wimbledon. Wrestling, okay, pick the sport. You all start with this many people, hundreds of athletes, and then you go to the semifinals, and then you go to the quarterfinals, and then you go, and when we're watching Usain Bolt kick everybody's ass, bro, in the 50, right, there's 8 people on the track. 8.
Right.
That's all the lanes there are, okay, that's it. So you had to make it down to the finals of the finals. That's what we need to do, and that's what we're doing now. We've just unrolled this. I finally got it accepted. With the help of the Pro League and Tyler's vision and Jim's. So now we are going back to a system that I think rewards winners. Listen, the prestige in winning a pro show is that you qualify for the Olympia, right? I mean, King, you sat there with me at the night of the champion, the New York Pro Steve show. Mm. This past year, the chick came out, won the bikini, doesn't qualify.
Right.
She gets some points.
Yeah.
What kind of prestige is that?
Yeah, and right? I'm so glad, Chick. I'm so glad that they listen. You know, we need, this is why I kept saying over and over again, this is why we need Bob where he is right now, so he can speak because it comes from experience. You know, a lot of those judges, God bless them, but they've never been on stage. They haven't suffered. They don't understand. If you don't understand the suffering, you really don't understand what these kids are going through. So that's the most important factor for me.
So let me give you the quick breakdown. It's written and it's out there. We've already put it out. Just for the quick overview for the viewers, okay? So here's how it works. You win, you're in. Okay, we've all heard that the last year. We coined the phrase for the NPC worldwide because you didn't have to go around winning 10 shows. You got to spend $50,000. No, you win, you're in. Now we're doing the same thing. You win, you're in the Olympia. Okay? You win a major show. Okay, we'll call it a major. Tier 1 shows. We all know. New York Pro, Tampa, Chicago, on and on. You know, we've got all the Arnolds, all those shows. You'll see them all listed. You win one of those, you're in. No questions asked. You win, you're in. You get all the bells and whistles. You get your flight and hotel paid for by AMI, the Olympia, per diem, in the program, at the Meet the Olympians, and an automatic pass into the prejudging round. Okay? That's what you get for winning a major. Now, all the other shows. Okay? You go win the San Antonio. Okay? It's a Tier 2 show, we'll call it. Mm-hmm. You win, you're in. You qualify. But you're on your own dime. And you have to go to round 1. That's an elimination round. So you qualify to get there, but you're going to have to kind of earn your way to the big dance, okay? So what's this do? This opens it up for more people to qualify for the Olympia. Mm-hmm. We're still maintaining the prestige of the Olympia because Correct. It's not a guarantee. So you get there, you got to make it to round 2 to match up with all these winners from the majors. So 25 people will go on to the prejudging. So if there's 13 people that won majors, all right, we're going to take another 12 from the first round. They make it up 25, okay? 25 people start the prejudging. 25 is going to get broken down to, let's say, the top 10, and 10 is all that will go on to the Joe Eater stage. Best of the best. All right, now, unless my math is wrong, okay, and I don't think it is, but I've looked at it. I don't know if they updated it before or after I looked at it, but from what I saw, now Luke Sandow, okay, went into Tampa Pro here.
Right.
All right, heads up against Dexter because he was on the edge, okay? He was second in the point stand. He could have got bumped out because a couple of the other point getters were in the show also.
Right.
Milan Shodek, Ian Valieri, a couple of these guys were like right there, okay? So, I mean, if they placed second or third, they could have bumped him out. Luke Sandow went to Tampa to ensure that he gets into the Olympia. Smart play. Now, Cedric McMillan, who was tied with the third place guy in the point standings, did not go to Tampa, okay? So he got bumped out. So like I say, unless I'm seeing it wrong, he's out of the Olympia now.
Wow.
Now, this is huge for a couple of reasons. One, this is a huge tactical error. I don't know who runs Cedric's camp, but why he wouldn't have had his ass in Tampa to secure his place is beyond me, because he was tied at 16 points. So it's not like he was in a comfortable lead or something where he got, well, mathematically it could happen, but unlikely. No, man, it was very likely that he was going to get bumped out.
Right.
So he doesn't go to the Tampa for whatever reason. More importantly, bro, as we know, right now, currently, Phil Heath is not in the show. Now, I'm very good friends with Phil, and I don't even know if he's going in, but I don't think he's going in, okay? So let's just say he's out. Roden is out, as we know, okay? Big Ramy is out, okay? He's not in. Who else? Lenardowitz is out. I don't believe he's going in. So
Nathan DeShaw, he's out.
Diasha?
Yeah.
No, he's in, as far as I know.
He might have some legal issues.
I mean, that was, first of all, that was a year ago, and the UK does not look at the laws there like we do here. So
okay.
Doubtful that's an issue, but let's just say he's in for whatever reason,
okay.
Right? But given this circumstance, okay, let's look at our front runners now. You got Brendan Curry, who's definitely a front runner.
Right.
Willie Winkler, the people's champ, who absolutely could win it.
Correct.
Dexter, you can't count on even 50 because he's still kicking ass.
Right.
Okay, and he's probably benefited the most out of all these guys being out. Bonac, who you can't look over because he's got more muscle than anybody on that stage for his height and frame.
Correct.
All right, so that's your top 4 front runners. Cedric McMillan, if there was ever a year to win this thing, this was it.
Right.
He don't look like any one of those guys. He towers over him. He's got a beautiful physique. We all know Cedric. We've been saying this for 10 years, right?
Right.
If he could have put his shit together and come in here with fighting, with the eye of the tiger, okay? I mean, he could have walked away with this title.
Yes.
But, unless I'm wrong in this, he's not even going to be in the show now.
Yeah, well, and again, all of this benefits, in my mind, it benefits Dexter Jack. It's the stars are lining up for Dexter. And if I was Dexter right now, and I go back and forth with Dexter through messages, he's excited. He's got a little pep in his voice right now when you talk to him and stuff. He's excited because he's looking at his pictures right now from Tampa. And I talked to you yesterday, Chick, and I told you when I saw them walk out, it was Dexter and everybody else. Yeah, okay, but it's in Tampa. So is it going to be Dexter and everybody else with Brandon and Roley and all? No, it's not. But if they turn around, if there's a tactical mistake by these oxygen guys, and if they try to come in bigger and sacrifice that conditioning, Dexter is going to just sweep right in there and hit that back double bicep, and it's good night.
Listen, Dexter is no worse than 4th right now.
Right.
No worse. And then you'd be hard-pressed for somebody else to beat him out of the rest of that lineup. So the man who's benefited the most out of all these guys being out is Dexter.
Yeah.
I mean, and listen, not only can you not count him out, because what a story that would be. How about Dexter Jackson comes in here, bro? On the cusp of 50, I think he's 50 in November, okay? So literally
Thanksgiving Day, I believe he said.
Yeah. 50 years old, and 11 years past the first year that he won the Olympia. So now a 2-time Olympia champ at 50 on stage, beating guys half his age. That's a hell of a story. And I tell you what, it's not like it's fantasy, okay? I mean, it's
doable. Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's doable.
So, but yeah, if this is correct with what I'm saying about Cedric, this was a huge mistake. Like I said, I don't know why he wouldn't have been in Tampa fight. Listen, all he had to do was grab a point. 1 point would have secured his spot. He could have taken third or fourth or fifth, and presented. I don't know. Like I say, I'll double check.
I'm with you, and please double check on that because I'm really interested in that because I'm a Cedric fan too.
Me too.
I think that if he puts it together, I've said it many times that if he puts it together, he'll be he's right up there because he doesn't look like anybody else. I agree. All right. Final question. I got to say this because it's in the news right now. Right now, the biggest thing since sliced bread, the biggest thing since the Wright brothers created the airplane, the biggest thing since Michael Jordan came into the world is Mr. Hadi Choopan. Now, Hadi comes in here, 212 guy. Everybody, he stirred the controversy when he went up against Flex, I believe it was in Korea.